That's what Keaton Mitchell. Yep. How about him? Hey, first touchdown for him, but he was not. Hell yeah. He was not the only Raven that had a day. Really, the Ravens had a day.
One of the most balanced Ravens teams that I think I've ever seen, ever. Like, as a Ravens fan, and you guys know as well, like it's just always been defense, and the offense just has always really kind of never been there. And then Lamar Jackson came in, and the defense was okay in that 2019 campaign, but it wasn't quite where they needed to be. And then this year, it just feels like defense looks like 2000 Ravens. Then we have this offense that we've never seen before. So like it just feels really, really good to be a Ravens fan. Ravens by a million.
Brad, when I said Ravens by a million, I meant Ravens by a million. By a million. Dude,
I got me fired up.
It was special.
Yeah.
It was really special. It was funny. Early in that game, I was real dialed in, and it was back and forth, and I was like, man, Seahawks are kind of good. And then we just started to absolutely dominate them in every phase of the game.
Yep.
And on defense especially, we got 4 guys up front pushing the line back. Our linebackers living in the backfield.
Lived.
And what's that guy's name? Oh, Gino Stone with another pick. Are you kidding me right now?
Hey,
I started laughing when I saw it.
Yeah.
I was like, no fucking way, man. This guy.
Unbelievable.
This fucking guy.
Hey, and there's 3 things you can count on right now in life right now. And I tweeted it out. Death, taxes, and Gino Stone is going to have another interception. How many games in a row is that for Gino now? 4 straight games. He leads the league in interceptions. Honestly, what a great story. But then the team, you're right, Parker. This game it's like, okay, well, we're not getting going. They're not getting going. And then once the Ravens scored that first touchdown, it was just one after another. Now, the one blip that almost could have changed things right before the half, the Odell Beckham fumble, could have gone the other way, but that defense. I mean, are you kidding me? Van Noy had a hell of a game.
Harbaugh called out the turning point of the game. The Van Noy strip sack, and Broderick Washington falls on the ball, and then they go down and kick the field goal. Obviously, they wanted 6, but to set yourself up in that great a field position with that little time left on the clock and to be able to do that, kick a field goal, get points on the board before half.
Yeah.
That's what the Ravens needed right then and there. And it really did shift the momentum. Like the Ravens had the momentum, but like when Beckham fumbled that ball, first of all, he's got to do a better job of, not holding the ball out there like John Elway, just keeping it out like this. Like you got to tuck that thing in, and he should. But I feel like he knew that. He was beating himself up about it, and then that touchdown at the end. I mean, it was the icing on the cake of his birthday. So.
We'll dive into that in a little bit, but I think because we know how dominant this defense was, and we've seen it as Ravens fans, we've been watching this for a while, and I'd like to believe that we aren't being biased with it. We're just being subjective, and it's a fact. The Ravens defense right now is one, or we think it is the best unit in all football. They have dominated their opponents, specifically in Baltimore, 2 teams that are at the top of the NFC, and the Seahawks and the Lions. But Brad, I think we have a clip, because even though we've been on board with this, there's been back and forth. A lot of people are jumping on this Ravens bandwagon.
Yeah, so there's a lot of backpedaling going on. Sarah Ellison put this up with Shannon Sharpe talking about the Ravens, and Shannon was one of those guys, along with Stephen A., talked about how brought up questions as to whether or not the Ravens were getting their money's worth out of Lamar. And, obviously then, and this was after the Steelers game, that there was 8 drop passes because that's Lamar's fault. But either way, so here's some comments by Shannon Sharpe. And then on the other side of this, we can react to that. And then I also want to talk about the comments that Cal Van Noy made on the Pat McAfee show. So take a listen to this and we'll react on the other side.
They've beaten all 3 by a combined score of 103-12.
You know what? Cheating. That's the only thing I can think of. The Ravens are cheating. In this day and age, in this era, the Ravens are allowing 13 points a game. This is a pass-happy, throw the ball 250 million times a game, and they're allowing teams to have 13 points a game.
Yes.
Listen to this. The people that are watching at home, to give you better context, the last 2 games, the Ravens have outscored the last 2 opponents 75-9. Let that sink in. If you playing Madden and you play somebody twice, there's no way on a video game you outscoring your last 2 people that you played 75-9. let alone do it in real life.
Yeah.
And Ravens
And Seattle's a
offensively,
good team. It's not like they're slouch. They play
No.
really good.
Yeah. So first of all, Chad Johnson has not played Madden because
No.
I can kick the shit out of any team I want 75 to 9.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Oh,
You can't
But
get the sticks out.
oh, are we setting? Is that the next thing with NBA jams?
Yeah, we'll have Madden in that
Ooh,
corner.
oh yeah, we'll have Madden.
You know, when he talked about jokingly, the Ravens have to be cheating because in this day and age where the rules of football and the way it's played is meant to allow you to score as many points as possible. And for the Ravens to be allowing 13 points a game, that's ridiculous.
In this economy.
In this economy,
Yeah.
the audacity that they have in this economy to allow only 13 points a game. I mean, inflation has hit everything except the Ravens' defensive numbers.
Yeah. But again, it's funny hearing this, right? Because I love also the fact that Ochocinco is making a joke out of it, but it's also showing the ridiculousness of what this unit's doing.
Yeah.
And the fact that really, arguably, even the 2 games that the Ravens lost, the defense was still solid. You can say that, well, hey, they could have closed some games out. They had the chance. The Colts game was super sloppy, terrible weather game, a lot of things going on, obviously. And the Steelers game was another testament of, yes, the defense could have made a stop at the end of the game, but they were dominating. The Ravens were up 10-0 in the second quarter and didn't score a point the rest of the way. Now it is the defense is like, you know what? We're just not allowing anybody to score. Now I get it. The Cardinals, weird things transpired at the end of that game, especially if you bet the Ravens to cover that. I'm sorry. But what I love to see, and maybe you guys can tune in or react to this Ravens team, when it's against a high-quality opponent, that is what you want to see where your barometer, where do they stand up against? The Ravens are doing what we talked about earlier. They are beating teams that are supposed to be towards the top. And they're not just beating them.
Dominating
in every facet of the game.